to all of you. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. It's always a joy to come to you with another fresh broadcast and insight into the things that are happening within the nation and outside the nation. Well, currently, we are aware of all that's going on, and I don't need to beat about the bush. The insecurity is just getting too much. I mean, people have been abducted by these terrorists. It's to use the people they abduct as human shields. So in case there's an attack on them and there's an invasion on them, they can use these people they have captured or these people they have kidnapped as their human shield. The government will need to step up. That is if the government actually mean well. For me, I don't know about you, but for me, I don't trust Tinubu at all. If the president of America, Donald Trump, had not spoken out and decided he was going to send his military to make sure that they take out these terrorists, maybe up to today, we'll just be hearing of killings and it will just be business as usual. It's so sad and so shameful that your own citizens, the ones you swore that you will defend the lives of the people, and the primary responsibility of anybody that is a president, that is a chief executive, that is supposed to be a commander-in-chief, is the protection of the lives of the citizens and then property. But where you are not concerned about that, then you don't have any legal or moral ground or moral right to continue to govern. In civilized nations, in advanced nations, where a president is unable to guarantee the safety, the protection of the lives of the people, the citizens, they immediately resign. But not like that in Nigeria. People can walk over dead bodies, the pool of the blood of people that have been killed by terrorists, and go for the campaign, and go there just to continue to control the people. Heartless, evil, wicked, senseless people that don't care about their citizens. All the killings going on, abduction that took place where 3 churches were invaded in one day and people were kidnapped. Till today, have they come back? The girls that were kidnapped in Mina, in a mission school, have they come back? One does not know who are actually the killers, who are the ones behind this thing. Why will a few terrorists overrun the nation, overpower the Nigerian army that has helped to bring peace in other nations? Tinubu was so quick in sending the army to Benin Republic to ensure that there is peace. Not one person lost their life there. Here in his own nation, people are dying. People are being quiet every day. What has he done? Always on holiday, spending most of his time in France. He has become like a person that is a tourist. He's like the tourist president with no clear direction. If you know your nation is conducive for foreign investors, do you need to be running all over the place and be looking for investors? Because that's what they're telling us. Tinubu is traveling so he can bring investors to Nigeria. What are your foreign missions there for? What is your foreign minister there for? Are they not supposed to be liaising with other nations? A nation where people's lives does not matter, where people are not so sure of whether they will wake up tomorrow, when they travel, whether they will arrive, where people are not sure of what will happen to them tomorrow because of insecurity. While that is going on, Tinubu is gallivanting all over the place. And what has he done? He has surrounded himself with evil, senseless, ungodly loyalists, people that are psychopaths. Some of them are governors, some are in the Senate, some are in the House of Rep. I even think the House of Rep even has more sanity. Akpabio, you have no right to sit there in the Senate when Nigerians are dying every day, and you are there, secure, safe in your chambers. Anytime something comes that will benefit the people, you drag your feet, you drag your foot, and you don't do anything to help them. But anything that has to do with your welfare or getting more money, Tinubu sends something for you to approve. You can even call an emergency session. And even if you're on recess, you immediately return to pass a bill, sometimes almost overnight. But when it has to do with electoral reform, it's a problem. To say in present day, somebody to be saying, we don't want real-time electronic transfer of election results. Is it not clear that you want to rig again? Is that not why all the governors are decamping? Evil people. You were elected under PDP, LP, or whatever other party. The people knew why they elected you. They didn't elect you to go there and decide to do your own thing. And you're more concerned about how to secure your second term. The governor of Plateau State, what have you done? Have you secured the lives and properties of the people of Plateau that should qualify you to go for a second term? Tinubu is already working towards 2027. And that's why this ganging up is taking place. Nigerians, smell the coffee. They hate you. Wicked politicians, they are evil. You hate Nigerians that much? What have Nigerians done to you, politicians? I just finished watching something online on the visit of Tinubu, the wife of President Tinubu. She went to America. Who knows? The lobbying is now working. Maybe they knew there was going to be a prayer breakfast. So what did they do? They organized for her to go and attend. It wasn't an official trip. How did Remi Tinubu find herself in a prayer meeting? Has she been able to handle the prayer meetings in Nigeria? What have been the effect of her being a pastor of Redeem? And they're using that as a cover to cover up, lying to us. That's how Tinubu connived and used the church, brought Buhari to learn Christian choruses so that he can get the vote of Redeemed Christian Church, since there are millions. And I don't know why Papa cannot see that these people are playing game using religion. Now, Remi Tinubu has gone to attend a prayer meeting. You know even what Donald Trump was talking about concerning his coming to Nigeria because of the buying of Christians and why he sent them to bomb the Sokoto area, the terrorists that are there. And he still reaffirmed his commitment to make sure that this comes to an end. Our mainstream media, are they bringing that out? And even some of the celebrities, what do you hear? They're talking about Remi Tinubu went to Donald Trump, went to America, and she was well received. That's the narrative they want you to get. They're not even bringing out the fact that President Trump is still committed to make sure he ends this insecurity in Nigeria. But what are they doing? All our politicians are doing, including the Remi herself, is politics. Since they tried every other means, other ways to connect with Trump and they couldn't. So what did they do? They used the woman. You go and attend the prayer meeting. When they see you, and then let them know you are a pastor, you are not a Muslim. There is no Christian genocide. And that you're a pastor of the largest church in Nigeria. And the fact that you, as a president's wife, can be a pastor, you will not be there and just be watching them buy Christian and call it genocide. There is no genocide. Can you see how they're trying to divert our attention? This is what they are always doing. When Nigeria is suffering insecurity, Donald Trump just came. You said you have signed an agreement with him to go after these terrorists, whether you call them Boko Haram, ISWAP, the Macrowas, and especially the Fulani headsmen. They have killed more than all the other terrorist organizations put together. But that's one area people are not looking at. Many of the places where people are tied in hundreds at one go, the water, that was there. And even all the other places, mostly is Fulani headsmen. While all that is going on, America is here to help. Instead of concentrating, let's see the help from America. Let us see it bear fruit. But they are now diverted because Gumi, the one they are afraid to touch. If somebody else says, Justin Pink, they will send DSS. They will send the police. They will go after that person. Gumi has been talking. He has been meeting with terrorists. What has happened to Gumi? Gumi said, we don't want America. We don't want Israel. And he said, go to Turkey. Go to Pakistan. Go to Iran. Where did Tinubu go after being out of Nigeria for a long time? And he came back. Instead of facing what is happening, facing governance, he ran again to Turkey and signed a memorandum of understanding. And we know Turkey is been known to be a nation that is not only sympathetic to terrorists, but sponsors terrorists. I'm turning 70 just in a few weeks now. Some of you are young, but you're not talking. Then you'll come and be criticizing people like us when we talk. It's your future that is at stake. I am settled. My children are settled. My grandchildren are settled. But I refuse to be selfish. We can't only think that if it's well with us, then it doesn't matter what happens to others. And that has been the position of some people, the position of some so-called rich people, the position of our so-called celebrities, talking about Grammy Awards, talking about how they dress while the nation is going down the drain. And even their songs don't respond and address challenges that people are going through. People come to politics not for the people, but for their own selfish agenda, selfish benefit. And somebody is saying, we are just shouting on social media. Well, this is the medium I can talk, but I'm not going to be quiet. Remi Tinubu, you went to America and you say you're a pastor. Which kind of pastor are you? Remember Esther. Esther stood. She was not going to let her people be annihilated. And through that, she called for a prayer. You called for a prayer, but you're going for prayer in America. Which prayer have you attended in Nigeria? Even the mass burials of Christians that have been killed, do you attend? Do you say anything? Heartless journalists that are not there for the people, but they are there for who pays them the highest bidder. They are changing the narrative, making it be about Remi Tinubu. While that is happening, since the time she traveled, how many people have been kidnapped? How many people have been killed? And now we're trying to talk about Remi Tinubu going to America. What has that got to do with the lives of people? What has that got to do with the destiny of people? What has that got to do with the economy of Nigeria? We are talking about lives being killed by heartless criminals, aided by the government. The same Tinubu knows why he's not going after them. Because he signed an agreement with them. They said, we will let you become president, but just promise you will not kill our people. Those of you that are doubting me, is there anything sinister? Is there anything crooked? Is there anything that has a mark of secrecy that Tinubu cannot do? Is there one? Tell me one. Somebody that can hire people, traders, people from the street, and dress them like bishops so that the Christians will say, okay, even bishops are behind it. Somebody that can do that. Why should we still be surprised? What comes off his sleeve? We haven't seen anything. For Tinubu, the end justifies the means. That's why he's calling governors and wooing them. PDP governors, LP governors, people in the House of Reps, people in the Senate, including local government. What have Nigerians done to you to have lived your life? You have more than enough money to live 10 life circles. Yet you don't care that Nigerians are dying under your watch and you're sending your wife to go and play politics in America. President Trump, don't allow them to deceive you. Don't let them use any lobbyists around you. Nigerians are suffering. They are dying. Since the last time you bombed Sokoto area, the northwest, where the ISIS are, it's not only ISIS. It's not only ISWAP. It is Fulanis living among us, being sponsored, being aided, being supported by the government. The Tinubu government is hiding something from you, and they're trying to create a false face. But secretly, they are meeting with bandits. They are killing people. They are terrorizing the nation. And people are dying daily. Every day that this thing delays, only God knows how many people will be killed. President Trump, don't listen to these liars. They don't care about our people. Right now, as Nigerians are dying, they are already ganging up. They have collapsed the different political parties. So they are already plotting and planning towards 2027. Don't let them lie to you. This present regime, they don't care. They hate Nigerians. They don't really care what happens. Please, President Trump, don't stop what you have started. May God protect your soldiers. You will not lose any of your soldiers that you have sent for the benefit of us Nigerians. Please, do me a favor. Share this broadcast. Every Nigerian needs to listen to it. Especially tag all the politicians. The ones in the House of Reps, the governors. Send it to the Senate. Send it even to Aso Rock. Send it to Donald Trump. Everybody needs to hear. Enough is enough. We can't continue like this. Well, let me end here. If you're watching me on Facebook and you are not following me, go ahead and follow me. And also like this broadcast by so
I'm still trying to find out this of transmitting election results live from the polling unit. I mean, transmitting electronically right from the polling unit to INEC server. I'm still trying to find out what the disadvantages are. Why any sane Nigerian, being in the political class or in the ordinary citizen, why would they have problem with something like that? I'm still trying to figure it out. When citizens vote, after the counting, all electoral officers, party agents have signed, you just snap, post on the server so that the world will see in real time. This will even save INEC a whole lot of time in calling the general result, because it's going to save time instead of waiting for the plane crash, for the plane that's going to leave Port Harcourt to Abuja. The one coming from Zamfara, it did not move on time. You will not need all of that. It will save a whole lot of cost and logistics. You get the point now. And somebody have a problem with this? How? No, this is something I don't understand. How would you have a problem with something as smart and intelligent as this? If you are a politician and you have a problem with live transmission and the live transmission of election result electronically into the server, you won't live long. Honestly, you won't live long. If you manage to live long, you won't die well. I've said it before, I will say it again. But with all the noise and uproar going on so far, attacking the Nigerian Senate, that they've declined to pass it into law, the compulsory and mandated transmission electronically of election result, I think from so many quarters, we're beginning to get information that information is not correct, that they've not declined, that even though many are against, but the matter have not been concluded. When I saw this, I was like, okay. In the light of that, let me show you this video.
The Senate did not, I repeat, did not pass transfer of results, which was in the 2022 Act. What we passed, and which the Senate President himself, when he was doing a clarification sitting on his chair, is transmission of results. And I need to make this very clear. Every one of us who is a senator, who has the privilege to represent a senatorial district, came here under the trust of their senatorial zone. And the reason for us to go into a closed session was so that we can tidy up all the niggling things inside there. And when we now come back to plenary to pass it, that we will pass it without any rancor. I can assure you, on my honor and the honor of all of us who are standing here, that both the Electoral Committee of the Senate, then the Ad hoc Committee of the Senate, and also in the executive session that we had, that we all agreed on section 63, which is electronic transmission of votes. Electronic transmission of results. Transmit, not transfer. What is in 2022 is transfer. And we don't want a law that is vague. We don't want a law that will be misinterpreted by anybody. We want a law that is clear, concise, and can be interpreted by all, and that is unambiguous. So it is electronic transmission of results. Yes, thank you.
So you heard them yourself. Those were some senators, and the few members of the senators that were present in that video are people I personally hold to high esteem. The man that spoke was Senator Abaribe, and there was Natasha Akpoti on that video, and there was Ireti Kingibe, the FCT senator. So these are people I hold in high esteem. And in the light of that, let's assuming they are telling us the truth and they've not concluded on this matter. So in the light of that, we'll be patiently waiting for the final conclusion. And I hope the Senate dare I think they dare not trash the idea of allowing INEC or mandating or compelling INEC to transmit election results electronically direct from the polling unit. That is one thing Nigerians needed from this 10th assembly, and we must get it. We need it, and they have no choice. You can't deny us that. You got it. Because it doesn't make sense if you stand out publicly to say, no, I'm against free, fair, and transparent election. Then you will be an obvious enemy of the people and a criminal at that. So, my dear people of Nigeria, let's patiently wait to see how they're going to conclude this matter. Because I believe at this point, they're in a very hot seat and they will have no choice than to do the wish of the people. But if they fail to do, then it will be over to us as citizens. So while we wait for them, keep you up, I'll keep you posted with happenings.
The X, I don't know what PFN stands for. Please, can somebody remind me? Something Fellowship of Nigeria, right? The leader, he's an ex-PFN leader. He petitions the US and UN over e-transmission rejection. We'll see how that comes, what the outcome of that is. Okay, so regarding what happened in Kwara State, so this is Balogun Yoruba, right? He says, we're getting more details. Who within the Kwara State government army informed the terrorists that people of Kayama reported them to the authorities? Who sent Mahmuda Lakurawa to Kwara to enforce Sharia implementation? Some people in Ilorin need to be questioned by the DSS. We will see how that one will be.
But that in a constitutional democracy, the rule of law is key. I have always said this. Like he also explained clearly, the guidelines, INEC guidelines that gave them power to do voters registration, to update the register,
as you come
then to reconduct elections, it's the same power they have to say this is how the election will be conducted, whether it be transmitted or transferred. And INEC under Yakubu said they were going to transmit. We know all the politics they played. I can remember all the politics APC played then, so that there will be no transfer. But that the court bought into that is a big challenge. But having said that, today, we have all agreed as Nigerians, because of what happened in 2023, that we want, the court have said, it must be documented, it must be in the law. Some of us are against this, because if you begin to put everything in an act in the constitution, one day the constitution will be bigger than this country. But even now, the National Assembly have done that, so to speak, majority of them have done that. And some people are trying to thwart that effort. So it's clear, the transfer was even enough. But that the court went in to say where the transfer means is manual collation. Now that they are saying transmit to the IREV portal, real time, that would have solved most of the problems agitating the minds of Nigerians. There are some few senators, not all of them, are trying to change this. It's something we must all resist. Just don't look at it as transfer, transmit. What's the difference? There is a world of difference, like the courts have said today. There's a world of difference. So it must be transmitted real time from the voting unit. It's on record that people go to collation center and bring fake results. Other times, at gunpoint, they will get INEC officials to announce results. But with the transmission real time, that cannot happen again. Because when you are transmitting from the unit, go straight to INEC portal. You can stay in your home and view it on IREV.
If the Fulanis manage to get their tribe in power once again, Nigeria is doomed. A minority tribe of about let me say between 10 and 15 million people, terrorizing a country of about 250 something million people. A minority tribe will not allow people to have peace in Nigeria. So if the Fulanis manage to get hold of the presidency once again, Nigeria is doomed. As it is, any Fulani aspiring to be the president of Nigeria, with the way the country is going, with their terrorism agenda, that person should be put on hold, because Nigerians can't trust a Fulani president any longer. So I thought to share this. God bless.
The import, that is happening in our country. People think it's just about criticism. I wonder why Nigerian youth does not see it from a better narrative, and create a narrative that can help the government open the eyes of those in power. And they think that by going through tribal line and attacking somebody and say, oh, he's attacking our brother. No, we have always been saying this, even in Jonathan's regime, in Buhari's regime, and even in Tinubu regime. Because Nigeria cannot have 34 million fertile arable land, 34 million. When you are talking about Netherlands who has food sufficiency now, who does not need to import food to fuel their country, has 1.8 million fertile arable land. South Korea had 1.6 million fertile arable land. Israel, that is even exporting food, has 0.4 fertile arable land. Millions. Then you have to go to South Korea. South Korea has 4.3. So we are not talking. If you put all these things together, they have not even gotten up to the 2% of Nigerian fertile arable land. We have 34 million across this country, and yet we are importing food. We are exporting jobs that are supposed to have been meant for Nigerian youth, and Nigerian youth are struggling to make ends meet. People think that it's just for you to go to farm. Today, farming system have changed. If you are farming cassava, they can process cassava to have starch, to have flour, to be able to have ethanol, to produce energy. That is what the farming improvement in the agro-allied industry have become so, people are known for. And that's why many countries are making more money from it. And we don't have the resources. We have the potential when it comes to youth capacity. We have when it comes to intelligence of our young people. We have the land that is available. Yes. So we have another issue, which is security. In most of the places in the north, people can't go to farm because they'll be kidnapped. Except government does something drastic, we cannot continue this importation, because this weakens our foreign exchange, and create foreign exchange problem for us. This creates unnecessary unemployment because we export jobs. We're exporting our job, we're exporting our resources out, and that means our jobs are going out. Instead of us be able to look at how we can create a system. The e-wallet during the Jonathan administration, where farmers were given direct phone, where they get their fertilizer cheap, they get their pesticides very cheap, and they also get access to resources. Not the Akko borrower fund during APC under Buhari. When you say Anchor, you go and bring Mr. Mohammed Adamu or Mr. John James, and then you tell them, say, there will be Anchor for farmers. And those one takes money and create fictitious names of people and share the money to them. And then we have no result. So you need to look at the working formula around the world. The president promised when he came to office. I'm going to put it on the screen so that you see. That is going to, in 2023, that is going to be tilling 500,000 hectares of land every year to be able to solve our food problem. That promise is all due. The president has not tilled 1 square kilometer of land. Even the 2025 budget, when he was talking, he said the budget that we're going to till 1 million hectares of land. Everyone who has failed to till 500,000 hectares of land will now jump to 1 million. You are giving unrealistic expectations. He brought his friend from Chicago. They launched on 2,000 trucks, tractors. That tractor till today we have not seen. We don't know how these monies are spent. And we have a National Assembly that is not sitting down and looking at our youth population is going to explode. And there are no jobs for them. The consequences will be very high. And that is what we are talking about. We are not interested in ourselves. For us, God, Just beyond that, we are going to be worried, but we are worried for this nation because our children are here. People are talking about, dual citizenship. We don't believe in that. We totally believe in this country. And we have stayed from running from dual citizenship, even procuring for our children. Today, politics is the most lucrative thing in this country. Politicians who make money drive Rolls Royce and oppress those who are businessmen. Rolls Royce, that's what politicians are driving. Buying private jet. Where? No investment, nothing. They were just in government. And today, look at the trend. You are looking at, you are praying that there's hope, Abi. Their children are already becoming local government chairman. Their children are going to House of Reps. They are replacing you everywhere because the resources of government have been taken for personal use, so there's no opportunity for you. Even in the school, there's segregation. Your children and their children don't go to same school. So I don't know how you think that you are going to perform magic when the system has been, has been destroyed by those in power for their own selfish reason. I don't know what you want to do as Nigerian youth, and you think that by attacking those who speak for you, you are trying to protect those who oppress you. So it's sad. Let's keep watching, and you'll see the consequences even on your own children more than what you are doing today. The food inflation is still high. People money transportation cost is high, which will be built to feed the inflation. But let's just watch. Keep praising them and keep attacking those who are speaking for you.
So the Zamfara state governor, he allocates 1 billion naira to build ultra modern cemeteries amid endless terrorist attacks. This is parallel facts.
A committee agreed on a particular bill that was passed to both chambers of the National Assembly. And in December, the House of Representatives finally passed it. That means that it had undergone the first, second, and third reading, and that the House has approved on the content of that bill and is ready for the assent of the President. But you know that as we operate a two-chamber National Assembly, meaning that the bill cannot be said to pass until it has been concurred by the Senate. And so Senate in December, rather than passing the bill, went on recess, a long recess, indicating that they did not take the matter serious. Now, we had expected that as soon as they resumed, which was on 27th of January, they are going to speedily act on the bill. And the reason for that is that the law has provided a certain framework that requires INEC to publish its timetable for all the activities that will take place for the 2027 general elections. In other words, that by this time we're April, INEC timetable should be out, And so when that law is not passed, it means that we are not sure which electoral act would be used to conduct the election. And it's clear that if we don't speak out, if we don't talk, the National Assembly would stonewall as it is. And so it's for this reason that we have convened this press conference to add our voice to patriotic Nigerians across the country that are asking the Senate to, in the next 1 or 2 days, to responsibly pass the amendment bill.
Well, I like the fact that a lot of people is hitting Akpabio and the National Assembly. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know if this guy spoke English. Well, let's see.
On all of you, Igbos. People that don't have human empathy and sympathy, that don't have conscience. That is who Obi Kubana is embracing. Shame on all of you, Igbos. All of you, very fake human beings. Educated animals. You call yourself educated fools. Educated fools. That's who you people are. Look at it. Look at Mazen Nandekan. With all the money, with all the intelligence, with all the sophisticated brain this man has. That was the last thing that I expected you to have done. You have kept quiet. If you want to become a politician, that's your problem. It's not my business. I'm not against you becoming a politician, but for you to be singing on your mandate with that small boy, it's an insult to humanity. It's an insult to mankind. You know how many people these people have killed? You don't know how many bloods that is on their hand? Who other than Loki to get massacred? You don't know. Most of you don't know, right? And then Soludo was coming out. Look at the heavy security he had. Watch Soludo's video on Monday. There is a drone flying because of unknown men. A drone was going around the market. A drone. And he wants you people to come out every Monday. And you people are not even ashamed of yourself. Obi Kubana, do you have seaports in Anambra State? Obi Kubana, why don't you tell your friend Sheyi Tinubu and his father to bring a seaport, open a seaport for you people? Obi Kubana, why don't you tell that your friend Sheyi Tinubu to open an embassy for you people, to build factories, to build a rail line for you people, for your mandates?
Detected. Okay. So here is Yoruba Times. We buried 178 corpses in 2 days, including 12 from a family. Mohammed Abdulkarim recounts horrific Woro massacre in Kwara State. You could not listen.
So this is where we buried the mass burial we did because of resources. So here we buried 50, then the other one 27. So there are other graveyard. There are the one Christian are using here. There's other one in the down there. There are 2.
When I saw motorbike, a mass coming, 3 people on army uniform, all of them with rifle, AK-47. They are passing. I was like, are these soldiers? Not until when I saw one with this wrapper that was wrapped on their head, I have to run and hide myself. In fact, they started chasing people, catching people, tied them by their back like this, putting them like in some of layers. In fact, before 30 minutes, we just hear pa, 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 pa. They are shooting them on their heads. My son is abducted. My friend has been killed. And my family, about 12 were killed. 12 were killed in my family. So all in all, what we buried now, from yesterday to today, we buried about 178 now. And we are still searching for more.
That are suffering. They stay in their places. They stay in their private jet. They are robbing the feet of people. Augusta, here you are here. Even to get a decent car becomes an impossibility. Open your eyes. It shouldn't be for me who has no arms, who only has a placard. It should be for those who have the territorial integrity of this nation. You have said that you are here to protect us, and we have stood there and we are waiting for that protection. Right now, what we are saying, Nigeria people, greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest of Nigeria people. Are you afraid? No. Are we afraid? No. Nigerian police, DSS, and the rest. Let it be known today that we Nigerians, we are not afraid of you people, but we are law-abiding citizens, and we are not cowards. We are citizens of this great nation, and it is within the constitutional rights that we are standing on this ground today. Because no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. Let it be known today that the 10th Assembly is the most failed assembly. That the leadership of Akpabio has failed Nigerians. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that claims to be a Democrat is not wrong. Because as a Democrat, you're not supposed to be afraid of democracy. You should partake in every aspect of democracy and good governance. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let it be known today that that office you hold is the office of the people. Yes. And let me tell you people, the people in power are not more powerful than the people that elected them to power. Yes. We are the people. Yes. The country belongs to all of us. Yes. It's our right and we must exercise it. But the fact that the police has blocked us today does not mean that we have been blocked forever. We are still going to stand in our mandate. That the State Assembly should do the difference. I don't know what the APC government is afraid of. You have over 31 states governors, and still that you are afraid of election. You are afraid of free election. Give us free election and see what will happen within 24 hours. We are not backing down. We keep pushing on. Nigeria is our country. We don't have any other country apart from Nigeria. And Nigeria must be safe. If you say that Nigeria must be safe, let me let you say Nigeria must be safe. Nigeria must be safe. That's Nigeria.
What do the police do? She said they collect money from you. You know what? Today, you can change that. Today, you can make a difference by showing that little girl that the police that she sees who collect money from Tete, the representative of the Nigerian. You are the gentleman who is time for Nigeria. We want a fair election. We want to bring back online transmission of results. We want to bring back online transmission of results. Bring back online transmission of results.
She's a mother. She's a woman. Let me tell you the way a mother will handle this issue.
After all the blocking of the road by the police and the DSS, we have managed to maneuver. We are the
Well done. Oh, you people tried. Okay. Extremists were exploiting religion to destabilize an existing Muslim community and its traditional institutions. This is a neglected border community that does not feel part of Nigeria. Poor roads, no electricity, no basic amenities, and now no protection. The attackers announced their intention to come. Authorities were alerted. Still, nothing was done to stop them. Let me just let you guys listen to this. It's a shame. This is where Nigeria has gotten to.
I mean, of course, as you probably know, that's my community. That's the place I come from. We share a common geographic, historical, and as I said in my article, consanguineal borders. And the moment the attack happened, I got a lot of calls and texts. Of course, because of the time difference between Atlanta and Nigeria, I didn't get in real time. So when I woke up, the first thing I saw in my phones were these gory photos, these heart-rending videos of blood spilling from people and houses burning. And typically, I'm very squeamish. I try to avoid looking at gory things because they affect me very deeply. But I made a mistake of opening one of the videos, and I'm still in shock. I'm emotionally distraught. And so that inspired me to write my the update that I did on Facebook, which I shared on my column as well. This, of course, it's just the latest example of the pervasive endemic insecurity in the country, particularly in border communities. And as you probably know, and I think you pointed that out in your introduction, that community shares an international boundary with Benin Republic. And it's a very neglected part of Nigeria. The roads are horrible. There's no electricity. Basic amenities do not exist there. And people there don't feel like they're part of Nigeria. And so when this happened, they actually called the attention of security forces much earlier than this tragedy happened. And it's the consequence of the extremist fanatics who want to convert the people to their own version of Islam. It's a predominantly Muslim society. And they always go there to preach and try to establish a caliphate, one that destabilizes existing structures, traditional structures, the emirs. They preach that they are not proper Muslims and all of that. So they come there every once in a while, episodically, to preach. So the chief, the head of that community, never wants that. He always says they should not preach because they are preaching a very dangerous version of Islam that is strange, that is alien to the people. So he called the attention of the authorities that these people were going to come there to preach because they had actually written a letter to the emir there, the district head. Is not called an emir, he's a district head, that they were coming to preach at an unspecified time, although they knew that he never wanted them to preach in the town. So he called the attention of the authorities that these guys were coming to preach. But it turned out that someone, we're not very sure how that information got back to them, and they got really enraged, and they actually planned this attack in a way that made it impossible for a lot of people to escape. The chief of the community was lucky to not be in town when it happened, but he burned his palace, killed his wives and children, including, I learned, two female medical doctors. And when they got there, they actually called for the Maghrib prayers. And then the people, because it's an almost 100% Muslim community, a lot of people came out to pray. And then that made them sitting ducks. So these were people who are pretending to be Muslims, wanting to establish some sort of caliphate. But they used Islam itself as a bait to get the people to come in large numbers. And then they had people stationed in strategic places in case they were escaping or in case security forces were coming, and murder them in huge, huge numbers. So, I mean, it's one of the things that struck me about this tragedy was that the chief of the town was proactive enough to call the attention of security forces about the dangers that these homicidal beasts pose to the society, about their preaching, and about the letter he received telling him and the community to be ready for their preaching in spite of his opposition at an unspecified date. Yet, no one proactively took any action to dislodge these people. And it saddens me that we react only after tragedies have occurred. Right now, I just got in touch with someone from that community, and they're telling me that the numbers of deaths that now they are discovering, because it's actually two communities, and the people are running into the bushes to try to escape, and they follow them into the bushes and shot them point blank. And as they're recovering more and more dead bodies, they think that the numbers could exceed or at least be close to 300. So it's a tragedy of monumental proportion.
I mean, we're all speechless on this side, hearing the actual recounts of how this unfolded and the fact that it could have been prevented if action was taken by some federal forces. But how significant is this shift? We talk about all the time kidnapping for money. This seems to be what has been pervasive in the last couple of years. But now it's a massacre for ideology, as it seems to have occurred in this community. What do you make of this shift?
Well, it's not actually a shift. With these multiple security breaches exist and they come in different forms. We still have the bandits there who kidnap for money, who are animated by pecuniary motivations. And you still have these terrorists who are animated by extremist ideologies, who think that they can establish an emirate or a caliphate that runs on their own understanding of how Islam is supposed to be. And they typically target predominantly Muslim societies to do this. They have had no success in Borno and Yobe and those other places. And this is not the first time they've actually been around. From my inquiries from the community, they have existed in the forest for years. Initially, they were not violent, but they created their own community there. They have their own equivalent of an emir there, and had not been violent to the community. But people saw that they were stockpiling weapons. Although they lived in the forest, and hadn't done anything to anyone, they were stockpiling weapons, and people got scared. And so they called the attention of security forces to the presence of these elements in the forests. I think that was the first time that a major violence erupted. For calling the attention of security forces of their existence there, they massacred people in the community in the hundreds. That didn't make it to the news at the time because it competed with, I think, other horrible stories coming from other parts of the country. I have no idea why that didn't make it to the national news. But this is not the first time. It's just the first time that it has made it to the national news. So, but at the same time, we still have bandits operating in that same community who kidnap people for money. And the terrorists is not just this so-called Mahmuda. We also have the Lakurawa. So it's not just one sect of terrorists we have. From my analysis and findings, at least 3 who are like competing for prominence, for presence in that community. And it's particularly clement because it's a forest, it's isolated, it's sparsely populated, and there's very little government presence in the area.
Hello, Prince Chiwoba.
Yeah.
Did you want to make some contributions?
Okay.
You're watching the live show, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what did you want to add something?
To what's going on with the Christian killings?
Whatever you want to talk about. We're talking about as you know, the National Assembly did not pass the electronic transmission of results. So even though they said they're still going to pass it. Oh, okay. He ended the call. Maybe the network or so. Anyway, let's continue with the videos. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening. I just have a couple of videos to bring to you guys. I'm not going to be here too long. He's speaking Yoruba, so let's move forward with this. Let me see if there's anything that was... Okay. All right, there we go.
Country Nigeria would not have... See, I can tell you for free that this country Nigeria would not have opposition party. The last time Nigerians had opposition party was during the time of Jonathan. And that opposition, they are the ones in power right now. Because tell me, what are the coalition people doing? Wait, let me call their name, Seth. David Mark, them, P2B, Arugbesola, what's the name? Atiku, and Co. Amechi, them. Where are they? What are they doing? Is it that they are not listening? Is it that they cannot hear what is happening? I said Showore now, but Showore is busy with the courts and every other thing. What are they doing? If they don't know how to be good opposition, they should go and at least consult APC. Let APC teach them how to be opposition. They should at least go and read past questions. Look at or listen to what APC did to Jonathan in 2012. They should go and read what Jonathan went through in the hand of APC. They should learn how to be opposition. I bet you, if APC was to be the opposition of today, by now, I don't think this country will be chilling with what happened in National Assembly.
Telling you,
this country will not be chilling right now because every street will be shut down. In fact, by now, Ojota should be on fire. So, if you should ask me again, what are the opposition doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Because they are the ones that are supposed to even ginger the people. They are the ones that are supposed to even call out, let's do this. But they are keeping quiet as if they are working for the government. They are working for the ruling party. They're just looking for who will be used as a scapegoat. What is David Mark then doing? Arabashola them. Atiku, what are they doing? Are they trying to tell us that they are working for this Tinubu's administration? What are they doing? Nigeria as a country, we've never had it this worse that even the opposition parties are weak. This is the weakest opposition party I've ever witnessed in this country as a Nigerian. Honestly, I might be wrong, but tell me, am I wrong? Am I? Or I'm just paranoid?
Good day. I have to commiserate with our brothers and sisters that were massacred and killed by this thoughtless, evil mind. This is what I've been saying all these years. And we Nigerians, we must come to this point where we ask ourselves, is this the kind of country we want to live in? Is this the kind of country we want to live in? We cannot afford to just keep silent and keep quiet and allow the politicians to drive us into total destruction. This is evil. How can we lose just 100 and plus people? This is more. The 116 is more. I believe the proportion should be getting to almost 300 because usually the reports are usually downplayed. I remember several warnings have gone to the Kwara State governor. Wake up, terrorists have invaded your forest, they have invaded your community and all of that. And you see politicians trying to water it down and say there's nothing like that. We are saying there is this killing that is going on and all the argument is just here and there. This is what has happened. I'm speaking from here, Washington, D.C. I couldn't just hold my tears a few days ago while we are conversing for a partnership and a network to be able to stop the persecution of people of whatever faith. This evil must stop. I plead with you, Nigerians, that you must come to this realization that you got an assignment. You got an assignment. We cannot just be making comment on TikTok and be making comments on our Twitters and all of that. It's time we get on the street. It's time we voice out ourselves and tell the government to wake up. It's not a time of sitting in the office while Nigerians have been massacred. What kind of a people are this? And I challenge all the Islamic scholars. I challenge all of you, the Islamic leaders. It's time that you wake up and lead a revolution against the kind of messages some of these people are getting. What kind of Islamic jihadism is this? Because some moderate Muslims do not believe in your jihadic things, and then you go after them and slaughter them. This responsibility is on you. I met some Islamic leaders here in Washington, D.C. who came to embrace me and appreciate what we're doing in Nigeria. It's time you wake up. You wake up. You wake up and lead it. You lead this thing and stop that we will stop this jihad from them. We are raising more Almajiris. We are raising more terrorists in the form of religious indoctrination. What kind of evil is this? How can we be losing people like chicken? People, the soul of one person is precious in the sight of God. It's precious to us. How can we lose this number of people? Whether it is the imam that was killed, and how can we? I speak to the conscience of every Nigerian. Share this message to every Nigerian, and let's wake up. Let's wake up and speak and act. Let's invade our forest together. Please, I will advise the Nigerian army, the police, the police or the security agencies. It's time we work together in partnership. America should provide the intelligence that we need and all of that, because they can see these things in their system. There are people that have vowed that Nigeria will not survive. There are people that have vowed that Nigeria must be brought down. There are people that have vowed that they will make Nigeria ungovernable. Can we, for once, wake up? If we are paying the premium price, moving from place to place to make sure that we have a glorious country, we all must join hands together and get it done. It's not a time of criticism. It is a time that the reality of what we're facing. Now it is going across board. Now it's entering the South. Are we going to get more and more and more? And it is the poor that are suffering. It is the poor that are going through this pain. It's the poor that are suffering. We pray. But while we pray, we must also do something together. And that's how we will reclaim our country again. God bless you.
He wants to bury democracy in Nigeria. And we are here as Nigerians, as members of ADC, to tell the National Assembly that they cannot bury democracy. Free and fair election begins with credible transmission of results, real time from the very polling unit. What Ababio and the 10th Senate wants to do will not stand. Never. It's an illegality, and Nigerians are out to confront it. We are going to the National Assembly to confront it. The leader of the protest is here, Madam Aisha Ishu. She will speak to the press. Let's move. We are going to the National Assembly. Let me talk. You can see, regrettably, the level of lawlessness in this country. You can see peaceful protesters, members of the ADC. They have come out to express themselves, to express displeasure, to express misgivings over the Senate resolution that made electronic transmission of results real-time discretionary at the discretion of the INEC chairman. And the members of ADC, particularly the youth arm of the ADC, have come out to peacefully protest, and you can see how the Bola Ahmed Tinubu has turned to a terrorist. You can see how the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has turned this country to a terrorist nation. You can see the level of the number of security men that have laid siege against peaceful unarmed protesters that are freely expressing themselves, that are demanding that election in 2027 election must be transmitted real-time online. That is the only thing we have committed. We have come to demand that the Senate must reverse from their unlawful decision. And that is the reason why the police, that is the reason why they have laid siege on armless, lawful, decent protesters. You can see that the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now a tyrant government. You can see that Tinubu is a tyrant. We thought this man was a Democrat, but from everything we have seen in this administration, this government is a tyrant. Government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is corrupt. The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is corrupt, and he is building the foundation. They have just succeeded in helping him to lay the foundation to rig election in 2027. And that is why they are saying that that transmission of results will not be at the discretion of the chairman. And we are saying, when it was at the discretion of Yabud Makub, what was the description? How did we fare? The same description that Yakub Mahmoud exercised that made him to announce Bola Tinubu the winner of presidential election almost 3 a.m. when Nigerians were still sleeping, because you know that the foundation of the result he was going to announce is falsehood, illegality, criminality, and that is the foundation Pablo and the 10th Senate have laid by now vesting on the either chairman the discretionary power to either decide or not to transmit election electronically. And Nigerians are saying no to that. They must rescind. They must reverse this obnoxious decision. They must reverse this anti-democratic decision. They must make the online transmission of results compulsory, online, compulsory, from the polling units, to the world level, and to the
Yes, so fraud is no longer allowed. We say no more to electric.
The reason why we are here today is because of the fact. It's because of the fact that indeed the Senate. The reason why we are here today is because of the fact that the Senate decided that they were going to remove electronic transmission of results. Is that not it?
Yes.
Are we citizens?
Yes.
Are we residents of Abuja?
Yes.
When you talk about the National Assembly, is it the home for the people?
Yes.
Is it for the people?
Yes.
And that is why simply, I need you out of here. That is why simply, we are saying we want to march. Today we have the Nigerian police. Today we have the Nigerian police who are standing in front of us with their guns ready to shoot. I thought the Nigerian police are also citizens of this country. All of you standing, I see you, sir.
Yes.
You are near retirement age. And I tell you, your colleagues are on the streets every day protesting. Today you're wearing this uniform. Do not be a willing tool of oppression. You have your guns, madam. Your guns, you have your hand on the trigger. You want to shoot us. But terrorists every day are killing your people. You do nothing. I thought Nigerian police have finally decided that they will be citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is why I wore my green. If I knew that the Nigerian police wants to be the willing tool of oppression, of killing unarmed citizens, I would have worn white. So that when you shoot me, the white will show the blood. Hello, sir. You are wearing this uniform. Your colleagues who once wore this uniform, they are on the streets. They are protesting.
Yes.
When we come out, we are not enemies. We are going to the National Assembly to simply ask for something.
Yes.
And we are walking down there. And I do not see any reason why you are blocking. Now you are causing the nuisance that we are not supposed to see. Mister, we have been on the streets every day. When we march, we are not marching for ourselves. We are marching for your children. We are marching for our children. I ask you, the people that sent you in today, the school that their children attend, you do not attend it. Oga, you the whole face for me. You stand gidigba. You dey vex for me. Terrorists, they kill me and you.
Yes.
They kill all of us. If you want fight for them. What I expect from the Nigerian police is for you, as we are walking peacefully, SS Danjuma, you're supposed to lead your men to follow us. So when they say that the police is our friend, it truly becomes our friend. Right now, the police is behaving like our enemy. SS Danjuma, you are standing. Your people are pointing their guns at us. They are putting their canister at us. They want to throw it. Essex and Juma, we need to have a movement moving forward. Let me listen.
Here for you.
Thank you.
We are here to protect
Nigeria.
Well, got a long story short. Yes, I was national chairman of the APC. 6 months or less into our assuming office, fairly alarmed, I went to Mr. President on a one-on-one talk. I said, Mr. President.
That's Buhari.
Buhari. I said, this is not what the people were expecting. This is not what, from the way we campaign and the rest of it, they were expecting from you. They wanted a bit of the old President Buhari.
No sparks,
the fire and everything. And he explained to me, Mr. Chairman, no. I have learned my lesson. I beg your pardon. What kind of lesson? And don't forget, at that time, a lot of prominent Nigerians took their holidays abroad just to be sure and see what this new sheriff in town will be like. He said, no, he has learned his lesson. He wants to now show the people that he's a true civilian president in Agbada, and that he learned a lesson from. He named a few things, the drug guys, young guys that were
he shot,
and all that. Yeah. So apparently he was still in a traumatic state after those experiences. And by the time we finished the conversation, I said, oh God, we're finished. Because, well, if he's not ready to be strict, if he's not ready to ask people to be,
what was the point?
Take consequences, what did we do all this for? And weeks later, months later, years later, I was proved correct. And of course, it became business as usual, only that there are a new set of tenants in Aso Rock. That was a shocker. No problem. The next one was streetwise. And I said, well, he's more of a politician and we know what to do. But with the very first speech he made, he landed on this issue of
fuel subsidy.
Subsidy, generally, the fuel subsidy. My initial shock was, good Lord, this thing is going to have a traumatic impact on the population and should have been prepared for. Not only prepare countermeasures, but prepare the minds of the people that, look, we cannot continue. This is what the implications are. This is what it is costing the nation and the rest of it. And before he finished his speech, the first indicator was fuel prices from 100 and something to 600, 700, whatever it became. So that was the first shock. And we still, up till today, have not recovered. People, we progressed from hunger to starvation as a people, as a nation. Hunger, they may have 1 meal a day if they are lucky. Starvation, there's no meal at all. And you have to virtually scavenge. That is the situation we are in today, and it has not improved. The security situation, if you notice, it is creeping. At that time, we were talking of Borno State, Boko Haram. So it was contained, everybody thought it was unique to Borno State, but it is creeping down south gradually. The latest, of course, was the Kwara incident. And you don't see anything out of the box. As usual, the security chiefs are ordered to take immediate action. The Kwara one, the credible local sources, it's even published, already said the security forces arrived 10 hours after the attack started. So you cannot but help thinking, look, where did we get all this wrong?
The Senate spokesman, Adara Modu, yesterday, who was on our nightly news program, Newsnight, was the fact that, when you go to some remote places and, during the election, sometimes you're not able to upload the results, instantly, real time, because that's what people are asking. But that, if people don't see that the results are being uploaded in real time, they might feel disenfranchised and there will be chaos. That's, that was his explanation. But the question that was asked was, do you have a mobile phone? In those areas, do we have electronic transmission of even conversations? And the answer is yes. We must revive our system. We must find ways to make sure that this system must work for Nigerians to believe in credible elections. Rufai.
You know why I was like,
yeah.
Daramodu's argument is so jaded, bruh. Mr. Senator, your argument is so jaded. It's so 2023. This was the same dumb, daft argument they made in 2023 that we shut them up for. Dumb, daft arguments. You don't even need a lot of bandwidth to be able to do the transmission. Are you guys kidding me? And you're bringing that argument again to 2027? It's daft. It's dumb. Please, we are not fools. INEC gets about 97% transmission for election. Are you not in this country? Yeah. Don't you see INEC gets about 97% transmission? Is it not from rural areas that do the transmission? Why is it that we have a set of leaders that always bring us back as a nation? Nigeria, you see, every morning I wake up and I see how blessed this country is.
Thank
but
you.
When I see the quality of leaders we get,
I appreciate your comment too. Thank
they
you.
are not even deserving of lacing the boots of the hardworking citizens of this country.
I'm telling you.
Now the next thing, the senators, the bunch of them, sat together and they're trying to say, oh, it's transfer, not transmission. Heck yeah, we know what we're talking about.
All right.
It's transmission. You transmit, you send across a medium. Internet is a medium here, not transfer. And why we are doing this is to nullify the collation, the criminal center called collation center,
Right.
where people manipulate the elections.
Yes.
And by the way, if they've got nothing to hide, why did we have a technological glitch? Why was it only the presidential election? Nigerians must stand for this. These senators must stop making us a joke. And please, people, mark their face down. In the next election, deal with them. Show them how you feel.
Dr. Vance.
Okay, a number of
nonsense.
Earlier on.
Omo, Rufai, don't they wear gloves, oh. This hey.
Ayẹni. Sẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn àdìsí tó bá lálàáfíà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá Kùránì lọ nìkan ṣọlá máa gbà. Tó ṣe bá làákàyè lọ, tó bá ọmọlúàbí lọ, tó bá ìntánẹ́bì mú wá lọ. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ó nìkan làdìsí tá a gbà ìgbà àdìsí tó lálàáfíà rẹ̀.
You dey hear me, I dey hear.
Àmọ́ àdìsí tó bá ti di pé nǹkan kí nǹkan ló ń kọ́ wa. Àdìsí yẹn ò gbádùn àwọn tí wọ́n sì hun wọn lálàáfíà nínú làákàyè. Àmọ́ iṣẹ́ eré ọ̀ràn yẹn gbogbo kálukú ni. Ọba ti jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí, ọba ti ń kírun tó ń gbààwẹ̀ fi iṣẹ́ eré tì. Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wọ́n lọ bá ń jọ kan, wọ́n bá ń ròyìn obìnrin kan. Wípé innaha tusalli wa tasumu wa ta'malu a'mal al-birr. ولكن توزي جارها. Òun gbààwẹ̀. Òun la kọ́kọ́ ẹni jẹ́ máa kọ́kọ́ bá mọ́ṣáláṣí. Òun ni kò ní kúrò mọ́ṣáláṣí yóò lọ. Yóò gbààwẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ará àdúgbò rẹ̀, alábàágbé rẹ̀, gbogbo neighbors rẹ̀, wọn là máa burú ọwọ́ ẹ̀, àfàbúrú ẹnu ẹ̀. Ànábì ní innaha fin nar.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ẹni iná ni. Wa zukira imra'atun عند رسول الله بكلة صلاته بكلة صلاتها وعبادتها.
حياكم الله.
wọ́n dárúkọ obìnrin kan tó sọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin kan lọ́dọ̀ Ànábì pé kì í ṣe púpọ̀ ó ń kírun kò yẹn náfìlà náà àmọ́ràn yẹn yóò kàn kí.
Thank you.
dáwọ̀ bá Ramadan bá dé ni ó gbà kì í gbà mí lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ àmọ́ búrẹ́dì gbígbẹ bó bá ti kù lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ báyìí yóò fi ṣe sàrà fún ara àdúgbò rẹ̀ ara lé àwọn tí wọ́n wà. Ànábì ní innaha fil janna. Iṣẹ́ rere ló máa ń ṣe. Ànábì ní èrò aljanna ni. So al-imanu billah wal amalu salih. So Islam mú iṣẹ́ rere ní ojú iṣẹ́. Mo bá jẹ́ mùmínì tí wà rẹ̀ tí ò níṣẹ́ rere, ìmánì rẹ̀ ò ṣàǹfààní. Mo bá sì èèyàn ní ṣiṣẹ́ rere kó má gbọ́ lọ́n gbọ́. Tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ rere tí ò gbọ́ lọ́n gbọ́, Ọlọ́run ó san lẹ́san rẹ̀ láyé. Torí la yazaba al-urfu bayna Allahi wan-nasi. La yazaba al-urfu bayna Allahi wan-nasi. Man yaf'al al-khayra lam yudam jawaziyahu. Lamu ya Adam Jawazi yahu. Ẹ bá ṣiṣẹ́ rí, Lamu ya Adam Jawazi yahu kò ní kò fún ẹ̀sán. La yazabu al-urfu bayna Allahi wan-nasi. La yazabu al-urfu bayna Allahi wan-nasi. Báwo yẹn ọba mọ̀, Ọlọ́run ọba ò mọ̀. So bó ṣe lè ń kó mọ Ọlọ́run ò ní ráyè ire kan láre tí yẹn kan bá ṣe. So bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn onímọ̀ ní tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ rí yóò gbẹ̀san láyé. Kò ní dé alkiyama kó gbẹ̀san èyún ni. Àmọ́ láyé yóò gbẹ̀san. Ọlọ́run yẹn sì fi ibi san ire. Tí sálábòsí. Tí ó wá fi ibi ẹni tó ṣe ire yóò wá fi ibi san fún. Kò ní fi ibi san fún. Bẹ́ẹ̀. Atọ́wárí ìgbà lọ́dọ̀ Ànábì hadith kan pé kọ́ sáàtù tásìkò kú rẹ̀ tó bá fi tó súnmọ́ tó wa biyadi ahadikum fasilatun tó wá ní tó wá pé lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ báyìí ó sì kú dàbídùn tó rọra yọ àti so hóró dàbídùn tó wá rọra yọ hóró àti so tí hóró ni tó ti lanu tó fẹ́ so àbí kò ìso náà ni àmọ́ hóró ni àbí igi kan igi obì ni igi mangoro ni igi èso kan ni igi nǹkan igi ọsàn ni ó wà lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ báyìí ó sì ti rí pé ikú ti dé tó bá wá lágbára fa in istata'a an la yakuma hatta yugrisuha falyaf'al hatta yugrisuha falyaf'al tó bá ti wá rí pé ó lè dìde orí pé síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ náà ó lágbára àti dìde àmọ́ bí tó jókòó sí nìyẹn tó bá já sí pé kó wálẹ̀ sí kó sì kíkí ní ìbọlẹ̀ kó lè wúlò fẹ́lò míì tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn nígbà tí wọ́n bá lọ fàlíyẹ́fà kí ló ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ yà ṣe. Ànábì ọba yìí pé nǹkan báyìí ìyẹn ní pé má fi oore lẹ̀ títí tẹ́mi ó fi bọ́.
Má fi oore lẹ̀ tẹ́mi ó fi bọ́ lára rẹ̀.
ó dà kó já sí pé níbi oore tó fẹ́ ṣe nì ó já sí pé kò kàn di mí kalẹ̀ fáwọn ẹlòmíì tí ó yọ lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ó dé lẹ́yìn tí ó máa jàǹfààní fún wọn. ìyẹn ní pé ẹni tó ní kó gbìn
Let me just summarize it. And sorry for those that are listening and are not commenting. So any hadith that tells you to marry a child, buy over blasphemy or support extremism must be rejected. That's what this guy was preaching about, and of course, amongst other things that he was saying. So let's move this forward.
With what has been displayed lately by this House of Rep member Riley Moore has said that evidentially with what has been displayed lately by this jihadist terrorist said that indeed what they have been complaining about is what it is, and they're proposing that since the Nigeria's contract expired since 2014, the proposition for either the division or for restructuring should be considered. Yes. There are talks that the president is actually gently introducing restructuring based on federal appointments lately, which a couple of persons are alleging favors, the Southwest, and that if at all it comes to that point, economically, the Southwest will be viable. They will be able to live on their own and do what they need to do. Others believe that the appointment is based on grade, based on the number of years, the number of service given, and that a president who fought for Nigeria's democracy cannot in any form deliberately sideline the rest of the country or sideline other regions to possibly placate himself and his people. Now, they talk that if you go to the market to buy something, they don't look at you to ask if you're Yoruba or whatever, Igbo or Hausa. The person who is selling wants you to give them their money. And the situation of the country is affecting everyone. It's not about the fact that this particular region's economy is better than the other person. It's about the reflection of wealth, the reflection of the policies on Nigerians. Does your line of thought toll in this directive or in this direction, or it is just what it is? Possibly the fact that, yes, normally with federal character representation, which has been missing since the previous administration, is the same thing that the president is doing this time around.
What Ralimo is saying is possible.
Are you sure? Are you sure we're not too integrated for that to take place?
We are not, seriously. They have divided us the more now. It is more pronounced now than before. And because it has happened elsewhere, the possibility is very, very rife in Nigeria. Seriously. This country has been polarized in such a way that we hate ourselves so much that the next person wants the other person to die immediately.
Hmm.
No thanks to politicians who want to use us to get vote, to get victory. But Esther, with this killing, is it not making it worse? Where somebody will come and tell you, except you join my religion, you're a dead man, or you start paying for your safety. Please, if you're in such an environment, what will be uppermost on your mind? Is it not to leave that environment completely? Is that not what you'll be thinking, to save your life and your family?
All right, Barrister. Also,
you remember that Iraq and Iran, that was what separated them. The Shia Muslim and the Sunni Muslim, they couldn't agree. That was what happened. That was how Iran was created out of Iraq. They were together.
Me, I'm up for it too. Anyone that's going to bring peace to that country, that's what I'm up for. So here, these people are saying Bamai. I think that's what they were saying. I saw an interpretation somewhere. Somebody was talking about it, that they're saying they don't want Tinubu again. They don't want Tinubu. So make we see. Now mouth today. 70 CSOs, I think that's chief security officers. They insist on real-time electronic transmission of votes. We don't know who them be, but they say not so them talk. All right, well, let's go forward.
Poor man Pekin. Don't they carry shenkers from South Africa? Poor man, the son of a farmer. This is not me talking. Now use the man talking. The son of a farmer, when he finds himself a position of authority, instead of today humble and work for the interest of the people, he's bringing shenkers from South Africa. You are using my tax to bring shenkers from South Africa. You are using my tax, my tax to bring shenkers from Brazil. You are using my tax to fly private jets. You are using my tax to treat your incurable illness, Mr. Akpabio. You are collecting tax from Auntie from Lekki, using it to bring shenkers from South Africa. You don't want my vote, but you want to keep your libido. You are bringing shenkers from South Africa. It will not work. It will never work in this country. It will never work in this country. We want mandatory electronic transmission of results. Are you not the biggest party in Africa? Don't you have 31 governors? Why are you afraid of free and fair election? Is the treasury not in your hand? Is Obi Kubana not your coordinator in the Southeast? Why are you afraid of free and fair election? Akpabio, we want mandatory electronic transmission of results. Bola Tinubu, we want mandatory electronic transmission of results. Sheyi Tinubu, we want mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Remi Tinubu, we want mandatory electronic transmission of elections results. Shetima, we want mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Fela, we want mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Apacha, we want mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Oshomole, we want mandatory electronic transmission of election results. La long way break no long. We want mandatory electronic transmission of results. Put it in the comment section. We want mandatory electronic transmission of elections results. The gloves are off. You have eaten your life. You are now attempting to eat my own. You know, go work, foul. Get ready to arrest all of us. Get ready to charge us to court. Get ready to rule a Nigeria that is empty, devoid of people. A word they say is enough for the wise. But for the foolish, the more you talk, the more your brain will be blocked.
Well, I'm actually happy the way the turnout of these people, Nigerians refusing this whole mess with the e-transmission of results. I really like the fact. I hope going forward, this is how it's going to continue to be. ISWAP terrorists, this is according to Parallel Facts, attack Nigeria Army base in Borno and soldiers feared unalived. This is today. Oh. Okay.
We represent to kill. Yes. We are here. The media can see. This is the premises of the National Assembly. We went in, we presented the complaint of over 250 million Nigerians.
Yes.
What we are saying is we must have free and fair elections. The people that are here today are the last hope of Nigerians.
Yes.
When there is no hope, when there is no hopelessness, what is next? Anarchy. Yeah. So today, we are telling Nigerians that we have submitted their demands that without e-transmission, there is no trust in the electoral process.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Our nascent democracy will not allow the people we represent to kill it. So we are here. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Until when we get what we want. Yes, so the present administration may have the annex chairman, they may have the judges, they may have the police, they may have the soldiers, but they don't have Nigerian citizens.
Yes.
Yes, so enough is enough. 2027 election must be transparent. It's a simple demand. Let it be transparent. Let our votes count. Let our democracy work. Great Nigerian citizens!
Great!
Great Nigeria people! Great! I say thank you to everyone, especially our mommy. I comrade, I respect her today. Today, I think I encourage her energy so much. Yes. And secondly, I want to appreciate everyone who actually come out. So say this thing must stand. We want e-transmission. If there's we don't trust the election for 2027. All we want is free and fair election come 2027. Yes. We Nigerian youth, we don't want wahala. But if they want wahala, we'll give them wahala. Yes. Great Nigeria people!
Adopt this real time because what's your take on it? Is it that the plot for them to bring the election? What do you have to say on it?
Well, the first thing I want to say is the fact that the 10th Assembly should understand that the laws that they are making today, that tomorrow some of them will not be in office. I guarantee you more than 50% of them are not coming back. So doing the right thing is actually in their favor. So they are not doing the right thing, they're actually doing the wrong thing right now by removing electronic transmission of results. For anybody who knows, say, you sure say popular, make it allow free, fair, credible election. Let Nigerians, let whatever Nigerians vote for, let it show. Who is the person that is afraid? They should stop all of that. But beyond that for me is to say to everyone here, thank you. Thank you for the way you've conducted yourself. We've shown that we are, law-abiding citizens. We did the right thing. Even when we were provoked by the police, we refused to be unlawful. We stood our ground, we marched there, and we are all here. And we've kept our cool. And for that, I say to everyone here, thank you so much. And I'm proud to have been part of this group.
It's not refusal to allow people. Does it mean that they don't want to transparent election?
Well, I'm not aware that they disallowed beavers, did they? Is the electronic, they did, yeah. So there's a difference between the beavers. The beavers is the one that authenticates the voter. That one is still there. What they've done by denying the electronic transmission of results is that they don't want free, fair, credible election. They want to do whatever those things that they use to where they rewrite result, forge it. And don't forget that the Senate president today, the person who forged a result for him was actually convicted by the court. A professor was sent to jail for the fact that they forged his result. And so these are the kind of things that we say we no longer want. What we want to have, as you have voted, is being counted, is entering. We want to put a screen all across Nigeria. We'll bring our jollof rice and whatever we have. We'll sit down. We'll be seeing the result as they are coming in. We in real time. We no longer want the one that we are waiting. They will say, Borno is bringing result. Edo is bringing result. They snatch ballot paper. They are going to collation center. No. As you are counting it, we don't want the one that professor will come to Abuja all the way from Port Harcourt and say he can no longer see in the afternoon, that they should put torchlight or light for him. We want everybody to see it in real time. So the thing here is, what are they afraid of? And every Nigerian must still. There are people who feel that it's none of their business. But what they don't understand is that it is through election that we get the people that we govern of. These people that rig election, nobody rigs election to give you good governance. If they rig election, they destroy the country. So we need to stop it. We need people that we want, when we vote them, they go in there, they know we voted them, and they work for us, and that's all we want.
What are Nigerians expected to eventually do if they continue with this decision?
Shut the National Assembly down.
Straight up.
Simple.
Straight up.
Shut it down.
Straight up.
Societies that are part of this coalition,
I'm speaking as a
like
convener
that.
of lawyers in defense of democracy.
Shut the
and,
National
also a member of,
Assembly
great party.
down. That's it.
Let me sincerely thank our mother, comrade Aisha. Today, she has once again shown her courage, and her resilience in fighting for democracy. Our message is simple. What we have just come here to do, they have all spoken about it. What the Senate did was a show of shame. They have just laid the foundation, for a criminal conduct of the 2027 general election. And that is why we want to tackle it head on. That is why we're not giving them any chances. So they should know that leaving the issue of whether results should be transmitted online, real time, at the discretion of the INEC chairman is totally unacceptable to Nigerians. And that is what we are fighting. The foundation of good election, transparent, credible election begins with online transmission of results. It will guarantee level of credibility in the system. That is what we are saying. So the message is sent. I want to thank the... It's really of course, it's a little step. That's why I said they are laying the foundation for INEC to manipulate the election. When Yakubu Mahmoud had all the discretions to exercise, what did he exercise? He exercised the discretion that we all saw him counting a compiling result at the International Conference Center, and it was disputed. In fact, the regulation provides that once an objection is raised, that they should have suspended it and to look into that, resolve it, and continue. He ignored it, continued, and in the wee hours of the night, around 3-4 a.m. in the night, when Nigerians were asleep, he criminally, fraudulently announced a presidential election result in favor of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the man, the following morning, it was as if there is ice water everywhere in Nigeria, as if Nigeria was a cemetery, because the people were surprised, perplexed. It was not a true reflection of what was voted. That was the silence you saw in the morning of the day Bola Tinubu was announced the president-elect. So we are saying that kind of discretion will not be given to the current INEC chairman. If that kind of discretion is allowed to him, he will exercise it in favor of the APC government. And we are saying no to that kind of criminal exercise of discretion. Results should be made compulsory in the letter act that results should be transmitted online, real time. That's what we agitated. We shouldn't be left at the discretion of the INEC chairman. That is the core of the protest. That is the nitty-gritty why we are here. It shouldn't be left at the discretion.
I like the fact that they came out strong. And I like the fact that they said if they don't pass it, they will shut down the National Assembly. That's what I want to hear. After buying hundreds of our people in one day, terrorists called us for prayer. Oh, this is what the survivors said, though.
What did the Senate president say? He said that the thing was not even removed. That the social media is awash. This and that. The man was being sophistry. He was playing with sophistry and semantics. That is not removed. It's still there. This and that. He said, we want it to be made compulsory. Okay. That is the actual word to be used. Is that not what Nigerians are demanding? Telling us that the thing is there. Yeah, we know it has been there. But what use? It's not helping our electoral system. That's why we said make it compulsory now, because in the last election, we saw what happened at the tribunal, where it is said that it is what? Beavers and RF are discretional. And we are not saying, okay, no problem. Oh yeah, this time around, we are going to make it legal. So that you can no longer give us excuse. That's not what you said. So leaving it there does not help the situation. Because that's what the Senate president is saying. That the thing is still there as they made it, that nobody should say that they removed it.
I think the Senate president was basically reacting, to news out there that the Senate rejected it, that they dropped it. So the Senate president came to say, look, Nigerians, we didn't drop anything, The amendment simply said, okay, let us leave it as it is, as it were, according to the 2022 Electoral Act. No, I think that is basically what the Senate president
he rejected the demands of Nigerians. Okay. Yes, that is the word here. The man thinks that he can be very clever. No, he's not clever. Nigerians are demanding that it should be made legal and compulsory. If you can combine the two words so that INEC, it will sink into their head.
Or to put the word shall. And not may.
So when those words were not used, of what use is he telling me now that the sin is still there, they did not remove it? Can you just imagine?
Akpabio go say who send them. This and Nigerians, I hope say they fit sustain them more. Because
Mamuda, Lakurawa are doing real-time electronic transmission of their activities. They are doing electronic transmission of their kidnap ransom. They are doing TikTok live electronic discussion of their kidnapping activities. They are on Twitter, tweeting electronically. Government, they tell me that they cannot electronically transmit my vote from the polling unit to IREV. It not work. A government that wants to take my tax, a government, I transfer money from one account, enter another account, you collect tax inside. Nekwemu, shame no catch you. I transfer money from account A to another account B, you collect tax, but you no want transmit election result electronically. So you like my tax, but you not like my vote. Where I pour you spit at Babio. Wagbon. Your head is not correct. I pour you spit. Pregnant woman where they 8 months and 2 weeks. I pour you that pregnant woman spit. I pour you 90-year-old a day spit. I pour you a power day witness spit. You want my tax, but you don't want my vote.
Exactly.
You are taking my tax, but you don't need my vote. You know how to take my tax, but you don't care about my vote.
Exactly.
So I should give you money. You want to reap where you did not sow. You want to reap where you did not sow. We are using our taxes to service your libido.
Oh my God, Nigerians, they para.
Stand up. If a senator stands up to speak, you don't tell him round up until he leaves the floor. That is how it's supposed to be. This country belongs to us. This democracy belongs to the people. I'm surprised, and there are 2 surprises now. One is the sudden hike of the electricity tariff, and which to me is against the Constitution, because our Constitution is supreme. Section 42 says that you cannot discriminate against Nigerians. When I heard about this Band A, Band 2, Band B, Band C, it's discrimination. It's discrimination, and it should not be allowed. This is the first time I'm hearing it, that you can get an hour for 20 hours, and somebody will get it too. Supposing you are living among the masses, and you can afford to pay for 24 hours, and that is what they are supposed to provide. Besides, this power supply, power distribution company belongs to Nigerians. They just took it like that and then use it to be loading charges on Nigerians. Suddenly one morning, they wake up again and say, a cybercrime levy. Thank God this president is listening. And we have a responsibility of calling people to order. If you see how the Minister of Power was presenting this increase in power, as if he owns the company and these Nigerians are being provided. It should not be like that. We are appointed, we are elected. Please, SP, I can see that you are running out of patience. But we are supposed to be doing the right thing. Please. We must commend when somebody does a good job and gives us a leeway, we should follow. I'm happy. It's only that he ignored another group. There should be Banji, and I belong to that group. Ban generator and renewable energy, because we don't see the light anyway. So let's take this issue of power so that it doesn't come up. Nigerians are getting too much shock unnecessarily. Somebody will just wake up and say and get a crazy idea that, oh, increase the power this thing, and you go there and announce it. No, it should go through the National Assembly. That's why we're here. We are representing the people, and anything that affects the people should be before the National Assembly before you do it, please. And so let us not, like this now, if we start discussing this very important matter, you say, oh, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. No. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, and I want to commend the committee for a job well done. And I want to also call on our distinguished colleagues, Mr. President, for this opportunity. We should take this particular issue that affects Nigerians very seriously. So I want to refer to the Constitution. The Constitution says clearly that any other law that is inconsistent with provision of the Constitution, this Constitution should prevail, and that law shall be, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void.
Or angry in. If you're a Nigerian and you're not radical, or angry enough, I just want to tell you or remind you that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and was sentenced to life imprisonment for terrorism activities in Nigeria. But Bello Turji is in Nigeria. He's free. He with his ammunition, and he's operating, exploiting the people and causing all form of atrocities, and he wasn't apprehended.
Beautiful Fulani girl. They talk your truth, they go, non stop. Now, remember the video of the CC when una Senator Oshomole, Edo people. Mike not dey here, make I yab am. Una senator come out. He carry CC, one CC for inside aircraft when they massage in leg. Nigerians can't find the girl, they can't go, they drag the girl. Okay? Now the girl respond to Nigerians. He say, South African, she's South African, by the way. South African influencer and adult content creator. So she's an adult content creator. Lishan Dagama has threatened to release a purported sex tape involving herself and Nigerian Senator Adams Oshiomhole. This comes after Oshiomhole dismissed a circulating video of him massaging her feet on a private jet as an AI-generated fake. So she posted this, I don't know where. She said, I'm gonna release my sex tape with your senator soon. Hey, whoa, who wants to see that? Ew.
The Twitter handle, the DSS did not know that the Twitter handle they were referring to is not the Twitter handle of the president. The Twitter handle they are prosecuting in court today was put up by a person known as Official ABAT in 2012 when Tinubu was not the president of Nigeria. That is how dumb these DSS guys are. And I'm saying it, that I am telling you that they don't know the difference between the official handle of a person who was Tinubu when he was in Lagos in 2012 and the Nigeria president whose Twitter handle is actually NGR president or whatever handle they are using. The handle they are prosecuting in court today was established in 2012. The handle official ABAT. But our Playboy DSS guy, of course, doesn't know anything, and he was embarrassed by that particular. So, and most importantly, we must keep saying this. Apart from the theatrics you see in court, our position over who is a criminal and who is not a criminal has not changed, because we have court documents that state clearly who is a criminal and who is not a criminal. And we have stated it clearly that the threshold for being a criminal starts from when you start committing the crime of, you start committing crimes. And we have plenty of evidence to choose. Whether they admit it or not, don't worry about that. It will not change the facts of the case. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Pocket the opposition by anybody that thinks he can pocket the opposition by forcing governors and senators to join him to win election. The man is living in wilderness. In Nigeria, there would always be opposition, and there would always be people in political party that can stand up to any situation. Well, thank you very much. I am glad and highly elated that I'm part of this celebration today. Birthday of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and also the 10 years of his foundation. As all know, Jonathan is a man of peace. He is the greatest democrat of our time, because in contemporary history, there was no African leader that voluntarily relinquished power and accepted the verdict of the people. And he's a man of peace in the sense that Jonathan, when president, had been a listening president. First, you know, when we demonstrated against him, when he increased fuel price, in his own magnanimity, as a Democrat, he listened to the voices of the electorates and withdrew that increase. You also know that Jonathan, as president, was to conduct elections in 2015. When the security in the country was not palatable, he had the magnanimity to postpone that election and stepped it down by 6 weeks. Most African presidents could have used that chaos to declare themselves president of the country. And you all know that Jonathan also, as president, even before the elections and counting was concluded, he had a large heart, having seen the obvious figures against him, called his counterpart and congratulated him for winning an election. I hope Nigerian leaders and contemporary African leaders will emulate this gentleman called President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Well, it's not only this government. All governments in Africa, and indeed in the third world, should learn from the lessons, the actions, and the attitudes of President Goodluck Jonathan as a Democrat. And since he left public office, you know, and I know, that he has never rested, because Africans and indeed the third world had called for his counsel and had called for his genuine neutrality in supervising elections across Africa. I want to assure you that anybody that thinks he can pocket the opposition by forcing governors and senators to join him to win election, the man is living in wilderness. In Nigeria, there would always be opposition, and there would always be people and political parties.
Okay. Oh. This is our last video for the night.
They entered straight to the village head palace. They did not meet. The bandit actually entered war around 5 p.m. They entered straight to the village head palace. They did not meet him at home. They met his family. They killed 2 of his children, abducted the second wife and 3 children. Entered the community, kill indiscriminately. They kill male, female, children. All the rest of the nation, they kill almost everybody. They kill over.
Oh!
The bandit actually entered war around 5
There you have
p.m.
it. This is the craze. This is the madness that is going on in Nigeria. Me, I just hope that Nigerians can sustain this anger towards the National Assembly and nothing quells it until they do the right. At least that will be some level of win. Okay? Because without that electronic transmission, that whole idea of transferring to collation center, if they do not eliminate it, because that's where the numbers change. It even, at least if the people can get to go vote, once they vote, they leave, right? I mean, they wait for it, and you know, it will real time, you'll be seeing the result. It will help a lot to avoid, to keep people safe, at least to a certain extent. It probably would reduce the number of hurts that they can, you know, the number of hurt that can be what's the word I'm looking for now? The number of destruction or hurt that they can cause the people. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's not like I don't know, and it's a shame because the leaders in the opposition are not saying anything. This is the most disappointing part for me. I'm so disappointed. They need to come out. All that one of going to, so they want to preserve their lives and leave the suffering Nigerians to come out again and come and be pushing forward for them so that they can now take over. Anyway, make we dey look, sha. Make we dey look. My people, now here I go leave am. Thank you very much. Caller, the lesson na me and you today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping me company today. Take your crown. It's long overdue, right? Mr. Nas, I'm telling you, it's long overdue. I just my own prayer and wish is that this fire that Nigerians found for this whole push for electronic transfer, it shouldn't just die out. they should retain that fire because they're going to need it. Because these people, you can't trust them. Immediately, Akpabio announced the crap he announced. He quickly called for recession. You see, even the protests that they were doing, there was really nobody at the Senate. There was nobody at the National Assembly. So it's very important that they sustain this anger. And I'm hoping that the opposition leaders are hearing the anger that we are pushing towards them, to let them know that they cannot be cowards. Another, if it was APC that was opposition, by this time, everywhere go they vibrate. How can you be an opposition and you are chilling? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Everybody needs to come out as an opposition. This is your time. You guys are even lucky. Trump is even helping you in one way. You are not even riding on it. I don't understand. Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi, El-Rufai, all of them supposed to come out. I don't understand. David Mark, what's the other? Aregbesola, all of them supposed to fall out. If Atiku dey front, everybody dey front, how many people you just say Agbado go fit raise the hand? I don't understand, because people are now saying, are you sure these people are not working for Tinubu? That's what people are not, those types of comments have been pushed out. Opposition people, if you guys, in case any of you is here and you're listening, go and tell your people, you cannot be playing opposition inside the corner, by the corner, in your bedroom. You have to come out and show the people that you're with them. The same Nigerians are the one bearing the brunt of all of these horrible policies. They affect una because una don't make una money, but the ordinary Nigerians, they suffer. Una not leave only them, make they fight. It's a shame. Come on now. Where Atiku dey? Atiku don't go back to Dubai. Shebi say he want to be president by force. This is even the time. Anybody want to rule Nigeria, and now you're supposed to put yourself for front. Say, I'm ready to fight for the people. Put yourself in front. May we know. I beg. You can wrap them up. Mr. Nad, good evening, sir. Welcome. Oh, sorry. I'm ending the show now. But I go see you now again now. Now, so Aluta continue. We continue to they talk our own, they play our own part, they do our own, they play our own role for year. We no fit do pass like this. My own hope is that Nigerians retain that anger that they used to come out today. They should retain it. They need it. May nothing douse them. This one they say they never pass the electronic transmission of, and when they make the senators they explain. This is where you need to keep them. And they have every right to suspect they are well. Yes, they have every right to. This is a golden opportunity and nobody came out. It's very disappointing. I'm not going to lie. Thank you very much. Good night. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Kola, for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.